What it do, YouTube? MGM for Life here, back again bringing you day 3 of my Pokemon Grab Bag Challenge. Now today's challenge is going to be a little bit more difficult because we're going to be using 3 Grab Bag Pokemon instead of just 1. So this is the team that we're going to be using for our Grab Bag Challenge, so let's take a closer look at it. Click. Alright, so first off is a Dugtrio. It's Focus Sash, Lead, Adamant, just because Dugtrio's weak as fuck, so I want as much power as I can. And sometimes it does end up biting me in the ass that I'm not max speed, but more times than not it actually ends up working out. So the moves are going to be Stone Edge, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Sucker Punch with the Arena Trap ability. Pretty standard Dugtrio set. The reason why Dugtrio's on this team is because if we're going to try and get a sweep with Infernape, the main Pokemon that's going to stop the Infernape switch is going to be Tentacruel. So basically we want to try and use Scissor to lure into Tentacruels and then trap them and then Earthquake them, hopefully kill them, and then get those out of the way so that we can sweep with Infernape. The next Pokemon is going to be a especially defensive Rotom. Pretty standard set here. It's going to be max HP, max special defense with Pain Split, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump. Nothing special there. Standard Rotoms are standard. This next set is going to be a Scissor. We're going to actually put the Akaberry on Scissor, and the reason why we have Scissor is because another Pokemon that's going to stop our Infernape sweeps are going to be Latios and Latias. So Scissor is a great way to take those Pokemon out. It's going to be max HP, and then I have EVs in attack and special defense just because I want it to be pretty bulky. And I also have the Akaberry 1 so that I can fake being Choice Bandit, and a lot of times I'll switch in and like pursue Latios or Latias, and then they'll switch into their Ferrothorn and they'll just kill that with a superpower because they think I'm Banded. And the other reason is because I've seen a lot of expert belted Latioses, and if I switch in a Scissor to take the Draco, then it just finished me off with a Hidden Power Fire, trying to fake the choice item. But this way with the Akaberry, even if they are expert belt, I can get a free U-turn off or a free pursuit. And I know, judging by the damage, whether or not it is going to be expert belted or choice specs. That's what I'm trying to say. So based on the damage will tell me what type of Latios it is, and then that'll let me know whether to go for the pursuit or the U-turn. So that's what Scissor is on the team for. So now let's get into the first grab bag Pokemon, and this is from my Zebstrika video, if you guys ever watched that. And this is going to be a Choice Scarf Zebstrika. It's going to be max special attack, max speed, and its moves are going to be Me First, Overheat, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice with the Lightning Rod ability. Now, I think Overheat, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice are all obvious, so you may be asking yourself, why Me First? Well, the reason is because a lot of things in OU are either have moves in their moveset that they themselves are weak to. Dragons are obvious here. Gengar is another one, but also Pokemon like Heatran, with Earth Power. And this is where Me First will come into play, is because if you get in, like a Scarf Salamence, they'll think that they're safe. Well, for Scarf Salamence, you can just Hidden Power Ice. But for something like, there was a battle today. I don't know if I recorded it, but Kingdra. There was a Kingdra that was locked into Outrage, and it was at +1 Dragon Dance, and it had taken out my Rotom with an Outrage. So I just switched into Zebstrika, and rather than going for Thunderbolt, because it was at near full HP, so I knew a Thunderbolt would not take it out from that range. So I just go for the Me First, steal their Outrage, and finish them off with their own move. So this is a set where Zebstrika, that's an instance where Zebstrika comes in handy a lot, and if you use this set, you'll notice that there are a lot of instances where Me First really comes in handy. And then another thing about using Zebstrika in OU is that what I've noticed is that most people don't even know what to expect when they see a Zebstrika. So a lot of times they'll switch in their Ferrothorns, and I'm just like, okay, Overheat, bye bye Ferrothorn. That happens quite often actually. So Zebstrika is really good in OU, and yep, that's that set that we're going to try and use. The next set is going to be the Toxicroak set, the mixed Toxicroak set that was in one of my grab bag videos, and we're going to basically put max attack, max speed, naive nature, and we're going to have Cross Chop, Focus Blast, Sucker Punch, and Hidden Power Ice. You may be asking, first of all, why 2 fighting moves, and that's because you can kind of lure. Well, first of all, it depends on. The Focus Blast is for Skarmory and Fortress, because those Pokemon would typically wall Toxicroak, but Stab, Focus Blast, even with no special attack EVs, 2-hit KOs both of those Pokemon after Stealth Rocks. And another thing you can do is, if you switch this in, if a Gliscor switches in onto you, or you switch this in onto a Gliscor, you can KO it with Hidden Power Ice, and that oftentimes gets people the false sense of security that you're a special Toxicroak. And there's been instances where I've gone for the Hidden Power Ice on a Gliscor, finished it off, and then they switch into their Blissey onto my Toxicroak, or even their Tyranitar onto my Toxicroak, expecting me to be some sort of weird set, or something that's, you know, weak to fighting, and I just surprise them with a Cross Chop and take that Pokemon out. So you can also kind of pretend, kind of fake like you're a special set with Hidden Power Ice and Sucker Punch, hoping that they switch into that special wall, and then you can hit them with a Cross Chop. And then Sucker Punch is here, obviously, for, you know, things that if you went for priority. And then the last Pokemon we're going to try to sweep with is we used the Flame Charge Mew, and now we're going to be using a Flame Charge Infernape. And was this thing Jolly the whole time? Okay, so I actually did not mean for this to be Jolly. I think I wanted it to be Adamant, but alrighty, so it's Jolly. But that's fine too. So basically we've got the Flame Charge Infernape, pretty much the same, similar idea as the Flame Charge Mew, but we have this should be Iron Fist, so this thing is all fucked up. Wow. Alright, so we're Iron Fist with Fire Punch, Stone Edge, Flame Charge, and Close Combat. Now you could do Blaze and Flare Blitz as well if you want the extra power. That's completely, I mean, acceptable. But I just wanted to try out Blaze Fire Punch just to see you know, how much damage it was going to be doing. And this is actually supposed to be Adamant, but Jolly works out too because Jolly actually guarantees that you'll outspeed certain things. But if you guys actually didn't know this, after a Flame Charge, Infernape actually outspeeds Stoutland and Venusaur with their speed doubling ability. So that's something that's actually going to come into play in one of my videos. So these are the Pokemon that we're going to try and use. This is the team that we're going to use for today's challenge, and let's see how things turned out. So hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so let's get day 3 of our Pokemon Grab Bag Challenge week started off right, showcasing our Flame Charge Infernape. So let's get into the battle. So he leads off with a Genesect, and I lead off with my Dugtrio. And my plan here was just to get the rocks up and see what type of Genesect it is. He's obviously Scarfed as he outspeeds me, and he freezes me on the first turn of the fucking game. So that's nice. No rocks for me. It's actually not gonna matter ultimately. So Genesect kills me. I know he's locked in an Ice Beam, which is perfect because now I'm gonna go out into Infernape, get up a Flame Charge for free as he switches out into his Ninetales. That's even better for me because now my Fire Punch is gonna be super powerful with Iron Fist and the Sun Boost. So now I'm gonna get that +1 speed, and now I'm gonna go for the Stone Edge here, and I'm gonna miss. He's gonna go for the Fire Blast. He's gonna miss. So that turn was lolly and completely useless. Now I'm gonna go for the Stone Edge and hit this turn and get a crit. Obviously didn't matter. And so there's a lot of hacks that's prevalent in this game early on. So I was going to go out into his Lilligant, and I was hoping maybe because I was Jolly that I would outspeed even though it had Chlorophyll, but I don't. But that's fine, but because it's faster, that means I get to burn off a sleep turn, and I have a chance to wake up here. And I actually do get that first turn wake up, kind of. It's really second turn. And I go for the second Flame Charge to make sure I outspeed his entire team. So now that I'm faster than everything, I'm going to sweep the rest of his guys with Infernape. So his Terrakion goes down to a close combat, and there's nothing on his team that can take Infernape stab combination. So yeah, that's a good game. So this is an instance where having Flare Blitz would have ultimately been to my detriment because he has 3 things that I actually would have to Flare Blitz in order to take him down. Well, actually 2, because I probably could take down Lilligant with close combat. But Genesect, I definitely wouldn't be able to take it down with close combat, and Venusaur obviously would not be able to take that down with close combat. So I ultimately would have lost in the end if I had Flare Blitz. Well, I wouldn't have lost, but I mean I wouldn't have been able to sweep this entire team. Not that it ultimately really matters. So I mean, because he would if he saw I had Flare Blitz, he probably would have went to Venusaur over Heatran, and I could have just finished off his Heatran with my Toxicroak or whatever. So I swept his team. That was a pretty quick battle. So let's get into this next battle. I don't remember who's showcasing this one, so we'll just get into it and go from there. So he leads off with a Breloom. I'm going to lead off with Rotom, and I'm surprised that I was slower than Breloom, so this tells me he must be max speed, max attack most likely. So I'm going to switch out, go to Scissor, knowing he's probably either going to go for the Swords Dance or the Bullet Seed on this turn. He does opt to go for the Bullet Seed, which is fine because that's not going to do anything. He gets all 5, which is bullshit, but whatever. So now he's going to Swords Dance in my face, and this is not very smart, because had I been Bandit, I that may have actually killed. Well, now I'm looking at the damage. He would still have survived the bandage one. So now I know he's going to go for the Mach Punch, and since I'm stashed, I know I can survive that, get up my Stealth Rocks, and then Sucker Punch and lower him down to a range where the second Mach Punch will kill himself after the Life Orb damage. So that's what I do here, and he does go down, so that's a huge threat out of the way with minimal damage to my team done. So let's see, what is he going to go? Now he goes out into his Ferrothorn, and I went out to my Zebstrika to pretty much take down any of his guys, and I'm going to overheat here. He stays in, not knowing what Zebstrika is going to do, and that ultimately plays to my benefit because that's one big problem out of the way and gone for good. So now he goes out into his Starmie. I'm going to go into Rotom to try and wake up, and he double switches into his Jolteon, I guess predicting an electric move, obviously not thinking that I would Scarf. There's no way he would know that. So looking at that damage, seeing as how I'm max special defense, I'm thinking that this is a spec Jolteon. As he goes out to his Chandelure, which was a very questionable play in my part, but it actually ends up working out for him as I go for the Will-O-Wisp here, and I give him the Flash Fire boost. So that was kind of a funny turn. So now I'm thinking that it's going to be a Scarf Chandelure because, you know, that's what is very prevalent in UU. So I'm thinking I should just be able to take a Shadow Ball, even being that I'm max special defense, and finish him off with a Hydro Pump. But he shows me that he's sub, which means he's most likely sub Life Orb and Pain Split. So now I'm going to Volt Switch out into Zebstrika. I was debating on going for Thunderbolt just because he still does have the Jolteon, but I figured he would just stay in since it's pretty much dead anyway. Now he goes into said Jolteon. I'm going to go out into Rotom, and I'm actually surprised that he Thunderbolted me. So that lets me know that he doesn't know about Zebstrika's ability. So I'm going to switch right back into Zebstrika and take that Thunderbolt, obviously, and get that Lightning Rod boost. Now we're going to predict him to switch out on Starmie and go for the Thunderbolt because obviously Jolteon would just be healed from Thunderbolt. So I finished that Starmie off with a Thunderbolt. Now he's going to go back into Jolteon, and I'm going to go into Scissor, expecting him to go for Hidden Power Ice or Shadow Ball. He does choose Shadow Ball, and that doesn't do anything. So now I know that he's definitely not Specs, because Spec Shadow Ball would have done more than that. So I'm actually right in that, and he goes for the Volt Switch here. He goes out into his Cloyster. That's fine. I'm going to U-turn out of there, go into my Toxicroak, and just going to cross chop this Cloyster, take that down, and then I'm going to Sucker Punch his what's this shit called? Jolteon, and finish that. So that was a good game as well. Showcased Toxicroak and Zebstrika. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, viewers. Rate, comment, subscribe, and deuces.